guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Samantha Rizundu if you're new here, and we have a new update for Project Pen, which is very exciting. I have a really dusty and crusty book that I have updates with. We do a few measurements, we do a few pickies, just kind of a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I do only makeup and one fragrance, so if you're interested in that, keep watching. So I have no particular order, it's just whatever I've written it in. When things get crossed off, there's a new line, so there's no rhyme or reason. We just kind of go with it. Now the first thing is probably my least impressive. It's the Models Prefer Mineral Finishing Veil. This is a finishing veil that I'm trying to finish, but I don't use it regularly, and I've not put pressure on myself to finish it like really fast because I don't use finishing powders often. I did use it today, and I think that got my measurement from 78.2 grams down to 78. I think today made it go down that much because especially in winter, I'm not really doing this extra step, but I have used heaps of it, so I'm just slowly withering it down. And I like it for that reason. I just don't want to put it back in my drawers. I want to have it in my project pen to just slowly get rid of and then say my goodbyes. My MCO Beauty Brow Highlight has no visual progress, unfortunately. I am wearing a full face of Project Pen today except for my lips, although I was wearing this morning, but it's now the afternoon. I have visited a friend, I have filmed a video, then I went out again for a meeting, now I'm back. So this is actually my end of day makeup. What time is it? 4 o'clock. So, and I did my makeup at about 8 o'clock. So yeah, I would say a full day. This is where I'm at. I've just reapplied lip gloss. That's what I've done. So I'm looking a little bit bare. I could probably do a little bit of rouge. Actually, I do have a gloss. Let me just put some gloss on. I'm actually going to add this into the Project Pen. So we'll talk about that later when I add it in. Anyway, so there's no visual progress on this. I am wearing it today, but it's just one of those products that you have to use a lot to see progress. So I will show you where I am at. I have had pretty consistent progress, but I've just not used it this month. I think I just forgot. Sometimes I'm like that with my products. Like some months I use it a lot, and then other months I don't use it at all. And we're going to see that theme today as well. So certain things I like hit hard. Sometimes the weather is an influence on that. Sometimes if I'm more social, I'm wearing more makeup and I do extra steps. I haven't been very social this month. So just little factors like that. My Kind Collective Brow Gel, I'm calling that done. It's off in my makeup land, but it's pretty much done. So I'm just going to cancel that out, and I'm not going to replace it. I have an MCO Beauty Brow Gel that I've almost finished. I'm not bothered to put it in because I kind of am using one at a time, so I just don't think it's that exciting. So I'm going to call that out. Last updated was 11.59 grams. And I'm guessing it's around 11 grams now at its final weight, but it was pretty much done. I'm calling it. I'm going to throw it out. I'll put it in my makeup empties. My Sigma Eye Base, we had very tiny progress, but nonetheless progress. I'd say it's even 0.5 millimeter. So here it is, and it's just a small amount, which is fascinating to me because I did use it a lot. I used my Bobbi Brown eyeshadow stick and my Sigma Eye Base a lot this month. So it's interesting to see that there was like hardly any progress. Anyway, we move on. My Charlotte Tilbury, sorry, I didn't show you. This is the Sigma Eye Base in the shade Persuade. And I love it. I love using it on my eyes just to cancel out any veins with maybe just like a really sheer wash of eyeshadow. It's a really nice product. My Charlotte Tilbury lip liner, she's getting small. This is the original Pillow Talk, and here we are. It's pretty consistent. It's actually one of my smaller months. I don't know why. I've been wearing makeup, but this is the update here. Only a small progress, but nonetheless a progress. I don't know. I wear it all the time. I don't know. I do wear this one a lot as well, and I think because it's cooler toned in the winter time, I've been using this a lot as well. I always have, like, this is my more pinky nude, and this is my more mauvey nude. So I always tend to have these together, but I'm only measuring this one, and you can see why. But I do have that there, so I'm not using it literally every time. I do need a bit of variety in my life, I've got to say. Right, my Nars, I have a mini liquid lipstick in this shade Starwoman. I don't know where it is. I wore it to work. It's not in my work bag. It's not in my handbag. It's not in the drawer. Hopefully I find it by next update. But you can see that I did use it because I definitely wore it to work. And I'm trying to finish it. It's this tiny little mini, like this big. I just want to finish it. I got it like in a beauty loop, Mecca beauty loop once. A long time ago. So I don't have an update for that, I'm sorry. My Ulta 3 blush stick. You know what's so funny? I have no update for this, but I use it almost every day. Make it make sense. Anyway, I've gotten to the point where I am now below the straight line, and this was domed, so I have used a lot, but it just doesn't look like it. But it doesn't come with a lot of product. It doesn't come with all this product. It only comes with this much product. Same with the Milk bronzing stick, which is fine because a millimeter is like 2 months worth of use. So I would say I've used a third of it, and I'm just going to keep using it. It's a really nice, easy bam bam. I tend to just use sometimes just my RMS concealer and these two, and I'm out the door. No, not even mascara. Sometimes it's that basic if I do want makeup, but I don't want makeup, you know. So I'd use this all the time, but there's no visual progress, so I do apologize. Milk makeup bronze stick. This was the mini, but now it's the full size. I think they've changed the packaging. In the shade Baked. There is an update on this, like 0.5 millimeter, like tiny amount, but it's the same as the blush stick. It only comes with a little bit, but it lasts a long time. I think it's going to take me a whole year to use. But you can kind of see I've actually used a lot of it already. That's how much I've used. In there, but it'll probably take me the rest of the year to finish it. It's 20 little product, and that just proves we don't need 50 for everything, unless you're me and make content. So the update there is here. This one just here, the one at the bottom. You can just see it's the tiniest amount of update, but it is nonetheless an update. My RMS concealer is the hero of today. I don't think I have any empties other than the brow gel, but I have very, like, next update, there's going to be some serious empties. Like, I'm just at the precipice, and here's my RMS Uncoverup. It's like a concealer and foundation all in one, and I use it for that purpose. So you can see I'm almost finished. I'm actually getting a spatula and spatulaing it out because I'm just at a point where the angle is too hard to get my finger in. And I find that I just put the spatula on my face, and the warmth of my face warms the product up, and I go in with my hand or a buffing brush. And I find that works because these are coconut oil based, but not clogging. They use very refined coconut oil. So I have no issues with it. I love this product so much. This will be a repurchase for me. Maybe down the track. It's a love. So I'm in the shade 00, and I often wear it paired with the Glow Perfector, is that what it's called? It's all rubbed off, from Maybelline. These are a really good pair, especially for me in winter. These are not my favorite products in summer because they have that little bit of glow and hydration. So I'm really trying to finish this now while I'm in winter time. So with this, we had a weight of 31.37 last update, and now we have 30.76. So less than a gram, but this is a small product, and I have to have this done by next month. It's barely there, so let's call that. But I don't know if I'll replace it because I've still got a foundation and a concealer in. So I'm happy to have it done because that was my goal. But anyway, I'll decide next update if I want to replace it. My By Beauty Bay Oil Control Priming Mist. I said I was going to have this done. Last update, I said I was going to have this done. But I want to say there's like literally like this much left. So I am going to call this. I'll just finish it and then I'll bring another one in for the next update because there's still a few uses in there. So I don't want to prematurely add something else in. But I use this as a primer and a setting spray. I kind of use a bit of both, and I really like this product. The only reason I wouldn't repurchase it is because my audience aren't really interested in By Beauty Bay. But for me, I actually quite enjoyed it. I think I got it in a mystery box a while ago. My Hourglass lipstick has no update, and the reason is the color is just so springy and summery. It's called No One Knows. I think it's discontinued. It's really nice, but I haven't been wearing this color that much in the past month. I think you can understand why. So I'm definitely going to keep it in because we're only a month away from spring, and then in a blink of an eye it'll be summer. So I think I'll use this more. It's not my favorite shade, but nonetheless it's Hourglass and we're gonna find a use for it. And it's gonna go, it goes really well with my Project Pan blush in my DIY palette, which I will show you. My Bobbi Brown cream shadow, if you follow my Project Pan, it's a mess. I can't even roll it. I did roll it up for measurement today, but that's one casualty and there's 2 more casualties. So it doesn't actually roll down. It's not attached, but it's fine when I'm using it. I just do that and I actually put on my hand, on my finger and go like that. So it's still fine to use, but it's not good for rolling up and down. But I did measure it for you guys off camera because last time it was a disaster. I've got about 1 millimeter. I use this probably the most in terms of all my eye products. Just this one here. And that was still only 1 millimeter, and I used it almost daily. Kind of like this blush, it's an absolute staple for me. It just gives the most perfect sheer wash of like a warm brown, but it's very light. It's just lovely. I love it. My NYX Lippy Lingerie, I've used a few times because this is a nice wintry shade. Like I said, I had this on this morning, but then I took it off because I ate, and then I put a liquid lipstick on, a red one, and then I took that off because it was wearing, it's just the end of the day. She's had a few different lips today and now we're just a natural gloss. But this was 24 grams last update and this update is 24 grams. So there's absolutely no progress, but I know I've used it 2 or 3 times this month, at least. I know I've been using it. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I can't explain. The math is accurate, but in my eyes, it's incorrect. My Tatcha powder, this is the silk powder. I did a measurement and I'm very excited for this measurement because I have been using this so much and you can see this is where I was. I brought it in last month and now I am here. I'm so happy, I'm getting close. So I use this as a daily setting powder. I used it today. Obviously it's the end of the day, my oils have come through, but you can just see how nice it is. It's a really nice powder for all skin types with a really light usage. This is not a heavy baking powder. This is just a very light set. Someone who doesn't like powder but likes it to set their face, this is a nice option. So I have, this was 48.29 last update. Now we're at 46.21. So 2 grams have been used. My Tom Ford concealer, this is the second time it's broken, an $80 concealer, and the doe foot keeps coming off, and I've super glued it for the second time, but I did extra super glue this time, so it does get a little caught. It does still work, and you know I'm determined. Don't you dare charge me $80 and expect me to throw this out if it's damaged. I'm gonna keep using it until it's finished. And she doesn't end. It's a tiny little concealer that just keeps going. I am using this one today. This was 22.81 grams last update. Now we're at 22.19. So I use it a lot. I use it consistently, but I also use my RMS a lot. So I think it will take me time to finish this because I love concealer and I love using my everyday makeup drawer as well. My Nars Radiant Longwear is a hard one because I thought I was way lower than I was, because as I'm pumping it, it's hard to pump now. But I think the actual pump is shorter than the bottle, and I think I'm going to have issues when I get really low down to the bottom. So here is my update. You can see it's pretty consistent. It looks like I didn't use as much this month, which I don't understand. I used it so much, but maybe I'm just not measuring properly. It is a bit of a guess. I'm doing my best, and I think that's pretty accurate, but I thought I was lower than that. But actually you can even see the actual line better here, I think, where it says shake well. Where it says shake well is kind of where the line is. I don't know. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, that's where it is. I've still got a bit to go, but I'm plugging through. It's winter time, so I'm really trying to get through the dewiness, the dewy products, while I can kind of get away with it right now. My D-Bronzi's still going. I don't know where she is. It's the old packaging. I'm just going to keep using it till it dies. I don't know where it is. I'm sorry. I've stopped doing the lines because it's just air. So it's hard for me to know exactly where it is. My Maybelline Perfector is doing well. we're having a bit of progress each month. You can kind of see that's where I'm at now. And I'm really going to try and pump through this month. I would really like to get like a centimeter's worth. I do really like it, but I want to finish this before it gets hot because this is too glowy and slippy for me in summer. And I really want to finish it. I want to finish a primer. My Kaleidos contour palette. This is Charisma contour palette. This one's discontinued, but they do have one that's pretty much exactly the same in different packaging if you do like the looks of this. This is the light one, and I think you'll be able to see the powder is actually getting a little bit of an indent in it. Can you kind of see that? And even the contour I'm using a lot. I'm only using it ever so slightly. I'm doing literally just a tiny, you can kind of see here. See there's a little divot there? I'm using the tiniest amount just to define my cheekbone. But I'm using it regularly, so even though it's the tiniest amount, it's still regular. And then I used the bronzer today as well. I used 2 bronzers today because my other one's quite light, so I wore that in the morning, and then I felt like I needed a little bit of a touch up, and I went in with this one and a little bit of this just to, like, I just feel like my makeup disappears a little bit through the day. Maybe my skin absorbs it, I don't know. But I am noticing a difference definitely in the powders. The powder, the contour, not so much the bronzer. I think it's definitely withering away, but it's so finely milled and hard pressed. It's going to be one of those products that takes a long time, but I do enjoy it as a option. I think I'm going to hit pan by the next update. I feel like I'm really close on the powder here. My Mercier color corrector, last update I don't think I even used it. I've been using it. I used it today. I've been using it a lot because it's actually quite brightening for me in my inner corners. I don't even need concealer when I wear this. So I have been using it. I don't know if there'll be any visual progress because there's such a little amount used, but I definitely have been using it. So here's what we're looking like now. But it's also a really shallow pan, so this is the kind of product that will last a long time, even though it's a small amount of product. Okay, so my BareMinerals Bounce and Blur Blush in Blurred Buff. I don't think I used this. I think I forgot about it. So I'm not even going to do a visual update. I don't think I used it. I think it was up the back and I just forgot about it. So sorry about that. And then lastly is my DIY palette and my fragrance, and then that's it. So this is my own made palette. So I had already hit pan when this entered. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer in Fair. It's so fair. So this is what I wore this morning, but it's really so light that it's for like really light makeup days and for winter time. So I'm really trying to get some use out of it now. I don't think I'll finish it. Ouch. I don't think I'll finish it by winter ends because it is such a large pan. It's shallow, but it's very large. So I don't think I will finish it, but I'm going to give it a real hot shot. My blush is the Chantecaille Cheek Shade in Emotion. It's one of my favorite blushes, and you can see it's really losing its embossing there. And it's becoming very well worn and loved. I haven't worn this one today. I wore an Everyday Makeup Drawer one today. Highlighter is from a Too Faced Christmas palette. It's a really nice highlighter, that's why I depotted it. But I haven't used this that much either. I think that'll be maybe more of a summer product. And then my eyeshadows. So this one I had hit pan last update, and I've just been working on it. I am wearing this one today. I'll tell you which eyeshadows I'm wearing today. So I'm wearing this one as my base, and I'm really getting good use out of that. I really hope to finish this one this year. I am wearing the Chantecaille, sorry I didn't tell you what that was. That's the single shadow from Chantecaille in Sesame. And then I'm using the Chantecaille single shadow in Coriander. This is a very light wash. It's not a strong pigment. You can see I've actually got another one on top of this. The shimmer is not this. This is like a satin metallic. It's not super shiny. And then I've got it topped with my Colourpop that I depotted from Birds of a Feather palette, I think it's called. And that's where that really pretty shine is coming from. It's a very simple eye look, but it's like 3 light layers of eyeshadow. And then I also have these two from the same Colourpop palette. And I haven't used these as much just because they're more summery tones. And then I've decided to add 1, 2, and 3. And the reason why I've added that is it's going to make me use this palette more because I have more diversity in shades. So I've got this really nice neutral matte here, this really pretty like white with pinky purple base shimmer. It's a really nice inner corner option. And then I have from that same Birds of a Feather palette this more deep brown, reddy brown color. It's just going to give a little bit more diversity, and it's going to be a really nice easy palette for me to reach for when I want an everyday look. Sometimes I want warm, sometimes I want cool, and this is just going to give me a little bit more diversity adding those three. These two little square pans are from an old Urban Decay palette, like very old Urban Decay palette. I think it was one of the Vice ones, but still good. So that is my palette. So I've added 3 eyeshadows to that. And then finally is my fragrance. This is the Kylie Love Fest Burning Cherry 48 in the 10ml. And this is my update here. So I would say I'm hoping to have this finished by next update, purely because it's a very wintry scent. It's one of my favorites. I love this fragrance. I think I just really like to move it along. I do have another 10ml of this, so that's why I put it in. And I really like to get through a few of my perfumes because I do have quite a few, and I just want to get through the ones that have a lot of usage, finish them up, and then kind of focus on other new fresh ones. So this is a really nice wintry fragrance that I would love to finish up, and hopefully by next update we'll have this and a few others done, like my RMS. So then I'm just going to add one more lip product because the other products, they're very... So these are the 2 lip products that I have. I have the Nars. They're all very different. The Nars is a bright red. This is like a peach. This is a nice wintry shade, but it's matte. And so I thought I'd just bring in a really simple gloss, which is what I just put on. This is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in, I think it's called Sun. Yes, 20 Sun. And there's hardly anything in here to begin with. Like, I know I haven't used this that much. I think there's such a little amount of product. I think it's just all packaging. So I would like to finish this. I find it really bulky. I find it really basic. I'm not that impressed by it, if I'm honest. Maybe the other shades are nicer. I should not have bought this. I don't even like clear glosses. And this is pretty much clear. So I'm going to try and finish this. I can see a lot of it is up here at the stopper. So once I try and finish, like you can just see, there's hardly anything in there, and I haven't even worn it that much. So I'm going to try and finish as much as I can down there, take the stopper off and finish it up and get it out of my collection because it's bulky. I don't like it that much, but it's a gloss and I don't have a gloss in here, so I thought I'd be able to get good usage out of it. So that is everything, guys. Hope you enjoyed this update, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!